Good afternoon. Welcome to a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast. We've had a week off because, we've all been on holiday. But we're back, and I'm in a very lovely orange shirt, matching Cal's very lovely orange logo on his Giants cap. Cal, how have you been?
Yeah, good, dude. Things are fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
I think we've reached that point in the season where it's like you've got through the dog days of summer. You can see the ends in sight. We're recording this on the 14th of September, so there's about 2 weeks left of the regular season. And I think we're just all ready for playoff baseball. Or for some of us, like if you're a Rockies fan, you're ready for the football season to start, I guess, or probably get into the swing of it. College football, American football, basketball, and hockey are coming down the track soon. But we've still got a little bit of baseball to go. So with that in mind, we've got a bit of a shorter episode for you today. It's not a roundup. It's a standard recording episode with your good friends, Gal and Gaz. Gal and Kaz.
Good.
Kaz and Gal. Well, it works either way because you've got like Gaz and Cal, or you've got Kaz and Gal. So either way, I'm in there with one of my variations of a nickname.
I got a few gal cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So we've got Kaz and Gal. So with Kaz and Gal, or Gaz and Gal, depending on what way round. As always, we're going to start with Boo's hot takes. So we've got 3 hot takes we're going to discuss. We use the Nando's spice scale because everyone knows you can't go wrong with Nando's unless you're like me and you stupidly get hot when you've been a medium boy for so long. And
That's no, okay. So the hot is good, but you got to go medium and put the hot on the side so you can control your hotness.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way when I ordered a hot burger and then hot chicken wings, and then I got that medium something. It was a weird day. Anyway, autumn's here, so Sunday roasts are back. So our first hot take, which was sent in by Evan Beeler on Instagram. Thank you so much for answering the call. It's that despite the current season records, the Cubs actually have a greater chance in the postseason than the Brewers. How hot is that a take, Cal?
Oh, I am gonna go. That's a pretty spicy take. That's a hot take. I think once you get to the playoffs, everybody's got an equal chance, largely. But I just think the Brewers have been playing better, and so therefore their probability is a little bit higher. I mean, what surprises me is that the Cubs have a good record. It's just the Brewers have been that good that it kind of feels a little bit disappointing almost. And maybe they've got a few games where they didn't play as well, but I don't know. I think the Cubs are good, but I do think the Brewers are better. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the Cubs have actually got the 3rd best record in the National League. You've got the Brewers with 91 wins, the Phillies with 89, and then the Cubs actually have the Cubs are 20 games over 500. And
so why have you been talking about it like they're fucking awful?
They could be so much better. They could be. They were so much better before the break. Before Tucker decided he didn't want to fucking hit for 2 months. Sorry, I'm trying to swear less.
You're okay.
Carl Tucker's already done that for me. Yeah, I've got this as a hot. Well, actually, no, I don't have it. I've got it as a medium take. You can go 2 ways with it. I think on paper the Cubs have the stronger lineup, especially on the positional side. I don't think there's much in the defense. I think we've got more slugging if the sluggers decide to turn up. Pete Armstrong, Seiya Suzuki. I don't know where you've been since the All-Star break, but please learn how to hit the baseball again. But it's the pitching side where I think the Brewers have got the edge. They've got Freddie Peralta. They've got your favorite and everyone's favorite, bar mine, the Miz. They've got Quinn Priester, who we've spoke about was acquired from the Pirates via the Red Sox or something, and kind of just thought it was a bit of a nothing trade. They've won his last 18 starts, which is just like where I mean, Andrew Vaughn got traded for I don't know, an inflatable Lilo, and he's mashing the ball. I mean, got pancake power, they've got pocket pancake. I don't know what they've got over there, but it's working. The thing that works against the Brewers is the last few years they've stormed the NL Central. As soon as they go to the playoffs, they just get swept. They've not really had that run.
Who would they be playing if the season ended today?
or I've got so they would get a bye into the second round, so they'd be in a divisional series. They would play the winners of, well, it depends who advances, I believe, but they would probably likely play if we're currently looking at it. You've got the Brewers and the Phillies in the 1 and 2 seed. You've got the Dodgers and the Mets in one wild card series, and you've got the Padres and the Cubs. So if you went on seedings, it would be Cubs Brewers in the divisional series or Padres Brewers. I don't think the Mets are going to beat the Dodgers, let's say. So Padres or Cubs.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I've got it as a medium. I think we'll leave it at that for now because I think we're gonna come back around on that. Our second hot take, we're going over to the American League, is that there could be 6 winners of the American League pennant this year. It's not really a clear race. I'll start off this one. I've got this as a mild take. I've got this as the it's not even left yet. Like the order's not even coming to the kitchen yet. It's that cold a take. It's wide open on the American League side. You've got the Blue Jays and the Yankees in the East, even the Red Sox making some noise. The Tigers, it seems like they've just kind of been on autopilot for the last 2 months of the season. And then you've got the Mariners and the Astros and the Rangers in the West. That there are, in my opinion, 7 teams that could win the AL pennant. So that's why I've got this as a cold take, and we'll sort of discuss them in a little bit more detail after the hot takes. Cal, where do you land on this?
Yeah, this is plain chicken. Someone could win the pennant. Yeah, you're right. In terms of people, I think it could be. Yeah, there's probably 3 or 4 that I think are like serious contenders, and then there's a couple where it's like, well, if they stay hot. But yeah, no, the take being someone's going to win the AL pennant. That's not even, fuck it, it's raw. Like they didn't even put it on the grill yet. You're right, they hadn't ordered.
Yeah, I just think with the saying of it, I mean, we'll take it as it stands. And I think, the wider point being is that the American League is a lot more wide open than the National League, I think.
It is. I don't think American League teams this year are as good as National League teams, but I do think the average is higher than the National League.
Yeah, there's a lot of congested divisions in there. But again, we'll talk about that in a hot second. Our final hot take, which is that second take was given to us by Mike Delgado.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike, for that take. Loved it. Thanks for interacting with us. Our third hot take is one I made up because I thought I'd have a little bit of fun with it. It's that the Pittsburgh Pirates, who have currently got a record of 65 and 84, are going to make a run. What have I put down? Pirates make the playoffs next year with all of their youth coming through. Cal, how hot is that a take?
Well, the thing is, it's entirely possible because, again, 117,000 game season, whatever it is, 62. They got a lot of good young players. They got as good a chance as any next year. The reality is, it's a pretty hot take because they won't do it. They'll start shipping people off and making some money. I think, if the whole of pretty good grows quite drastically in the off season, and the larger baseball community buys the Pittsburgh Pirates, you got a strong chance that they do make it. I think I saw a stat the other day that was like Paul Skeens has lost all these games, whereas if he'd have had 3 runs of support, he would have only lost 1 game in his career for the Pirates.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Fucking ridiculous. I don't know. I think they're good. I think they gotta ship off some dudes for some more team players. Like, I don't think O'Neal Cruz is going to be good for the Pirates in the same way that he could be good for like the Astros, a team that already has a good team, and you can afford to be a bit of a dickhead on like a good team, whereas he's being a bit of a dickhead on a not great team. They kind of need him. So I think if you get rid of a couple guys and be smart about it, then yeah, I think the Pirates could be very dangerous in the next few years. It's just realistically they won't. So I'm not too worried. I think that we're about Oh, because 2027 season isn't happening. So 2028 is the Paul Skeens trade to the Dodgers.
You reckon?
Yeah, dude, it's gonna happen. They're not gonna pay him the money that he deserves. The Dodgers can give over a whole starting nine of good enough prospects to play in the majors right now. Fuck it, you may as well or he'll go to the Yankees for some reason. Rob Manfred will do something where he forces a trade. He brings in a rule where he can make a trade once a year, and he's gonna put him on fucking the Yankees or the Dodgers or fucking I don't know who else is big that no one cares about. The Red Sox. Maybe he goes and plays for the Red Sox. I don't know. I'm not too worried about them. I think it's a pretty hot take, but I I wish it wasn't a hot as a take.
I'm glad you touched on the Hauler pretty good because I think it's something like if every one of the followers that it was up to about 155,000 last time I checked, don't know the exact figure. It's something like if everyone forks up $9,500, they can buy the Pittsburgh Pirates.
It's worth it. Sell your houses, buy the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's do it.
I mean, you've got the ballpark, you've got the bones of a half decent team. I mean, I'm looking at the stats, and I mean, Skeens has got a record of 10-9 with an ERA of 1.92 across 30 starts. It's just like,
how do you do that to someone? Like you have to get rid of him just for mental health reasons. Like he can't keep him there.
and that includes one complete game where they lost 1-0 to the Philadelphia Phillies, if I remember rightly.
Oh, Paul, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
I mean, just looking down there, I mean, on the pitching side, they've got Bubba Chandler, who's finally come up. He took a perfect game into the sixth against the Nationals. They've got Mitch Keller, who's just always been solid for them. They've got one of my favourite players from last year, Jared Jones, who hasn't played this year because of Tommy John. So they've got some good pitching on the pitching side. On the hitting side, leaves a lot to be desired. I think they need the same way Brian Reynolds needs to get out of Pittsburgh. I think he's the definition of mid. Tommy Pham, give him a 10-year contract. Why not? McCutcheon, I like to see McCutcheon back again for another year. Let him do it in Pittsburgh. But you're right. I'm struggling. I really am struggling.
I've solved it.
Yep.
So, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Baltimore Orioles, they need to fucking expansion. We need to what's the opposite of an expansion? We need to cut teams.
Consolidate.
We need to consolidate some teams. And I think if you had you'd have to rename them. What's a pirate bird? Parrot?
Yeah.
Like a parrot with like a one eye thing.
Yeah.
If you have like the pitching staff from the Pirates and you have the like positional players from the Orioles, that's a scary team. Fuck it. I don't know who owns Baltimore Orioles, but go fucking buy Pittsburgh. Get rid of them. You can play halfway in between. I don't know where that would be, but do it. Do it for baseball's sake.
Let's throw a bone to Dan. They can play in Norfolk. Why not?
Nah,
go play in a triple.
We can't give him any more baseball. He has enough.
Yeah, that's fair. It's being very selfish. Yeah, I mean, I've got that. I put it as a fun take. I think it's very hot. It is possible. That's why it's on the scale. But it would take a lot. For example, the Hall of Pretty Good Followers to buy the Pittsburgh Pirates, or the consolidation of two teams into one. And that wraps up our booze hot takes. Quite quick, quite snappy. We're going to move on to kind of just a bit of a divisional roundup before we hit halftime. Mm-hmm. Should we start we'll start in the National League because I think it's a little, plays to our strengths a little bit more. It's a little bit more entertaining. We'll start in the National League East where the Mets have played like the Rockies for the last month and a half, it seems. And at one point they had a lead in the division. Well, the Phillies are one game away from wrapping up the division with 2 weeks to go. So the Phillies have currently got the 2 seed in the postseason, got a record of 89 and 60. They've won 9 of their last 10. And like I said, 1 game away from wrapping up at least the National League East, if not probably one of the top 2 seeds. Mets are clinging on in that last wildcard spot with a record of 76 and 73. Marlins have had a good year, 70 wins. I don't think you can knock that. They've got a good chance to kind of make 75, 80. Braves, we've discussed them in length, 65 wins, not great. Nationals, don't really know what's going on there, but they've got 61 wins. which is a few more than I thought. Any shocks in the East, Cal, or is it kind of as we expect?
The Marlins doing better than I think a lot of people gave them credit for at the start of the year, myself included. Just kind of dismissed the Fishes, but no, they're doing okay. Playing good baseball. It's nice. It's good.
Nice.
Dig it.
Moving on to the Central, the Brewers have absolutely crushed baseball. They should be playing basketball. They're that good a team. They've got 91 wins, 58 losses, 6.5 games ahead of the Cubs in second place, who have a record of 84 and 64, which is still, pretty good. It's between the Cubs and the Padres for that top wild card spot, in my opinion. The Cubs are ahead by looks like 3 games, might be 2.5. I don't know how it works. Reds 500 baseball, 74 and 74, which to me is a step forward for them. They were kind of at middle of the road, went with Terry Francona as manager. I think it will pay dividends for them, especially next year. I think you always get the first year just to get, boots on the ground, see what we've got to work with. They've got Andrew Abbott tossing a gem every 5 games. It seems like he had a 1-point-something ERA for most of the season. We've faced him 4 times. I think we've got maybe 1 hit off of him. And he goes like 7 innings each time. He's actually really annoying to face. Cardinals just exist. 72 wins, and then the Pirates at 65 and 84. I'll put it over to you, Cal. Do you think the Brewers? Did you have the Brewers on your bingo card with the most wins in baseball at this point in the season, at the start of the year?
No. And I think anyone that says yes is lying. It's surprising, but as the season's gone on, it's not surprising now. But if you told me at the start of the season this is what would be happening, and the Pirates would be at the bottom, and that the Cardinals weren't at the bottom of the division, I'd have been really quite shocked. Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise, but as the season's gone on, no, it kind of makes sense. Like they've been good all year.
Yeah. We're gonna finish up the National League in the West, which is surprisingly a lot more competitive than I think people had thought. So we'll start at the bottom. The Rockies have 41 wins. I believe they need to get 2 more to beat the White Sox record from last year. If the White Sox had 42, so is that going to happen? Are they going to get another 2 wins in 2 weeks, Cal? What do you reckon?
Yeah, they get 4.
Perfect. So they'll finish with, let's say, 45 wins. We won't go much more into the Rockies. We can dissect that in the offseason. Then going from the top, the Dodgers, who everyone thought would run away with it, 83 wins. It's still a good record, but they haven't been able to really shake off the Padres, who are 2.5 games back for the lead at 81 wins. Then this is where the real fun happens with the Mets. So the Mets currently have the third team in the wildcard race, as in they currently have the last wildcard with 76 wins. Out of nowhere, the Giants are now only 1 game back. Or no, sorry, half a game back the way it works because you've played a game less. You've got 75 wins, but same amount of losses. And the Diamondbacks, again, from seemingly out of nowhere, they're only a game back from, or a game and a half back from you guys, and you've got the Reds on 74 wins along with the Diamondbacks. So how do you feel as a Giants fan? I guess is the main question. Now we can talk about the Dodgers and Padres all we want. I think ultimately the Dodgers will I think the Dodgers will win that division. I think the Padres will get a wild card spot. It'd be great if the Padres pipped into the post, but from a Cubs fan, I'd rather play the Padres. As a Giants fan, after your kind of like sell off at the deadline, how does it feel to be half a game out of the wild card?
I said it at the start of the year, and I'll say it again. Every day is a dream, and it's really quite beautiful. I think the thing is that the Giants have just kind of kicked into gear. The last thing that happened was that there was a lot of issues with players speaking out about Bob Melvin, and people saying like, "Oh, I like him. He's a nice guy." And fans being like, yeah, but nice guys finish last kind of thing. And it's like, well, if you like him so much, keep him in a job. And I think that the Giants' best team is starting to kind of push itself to the top. We've played 2 games against the Dodgers now, and we've got another series. We just played the Diamondbacks. We've got another series against I think we play the Rockies again, and then there's someone. Is it the Cubs? Do we play you guys?
No, I think you're the Cardinals somewhere.
Someone like that. But okay, yesterday's scoreline doesn't look great. A few fielding errors. Elliot Ramos probably deserves to be hung at this point, but whatever. It was a much closer game. In like the first inning, the Giants put up like 6 runs. I don't remember the last time we put up 6 runs in an inning ever. The Dodgers are beatable. We're playing them at home just now. I think the next season is away, but it's the Giants' outfield is good and young, and everyone's just hitting the ball. You got Willie Adames, Rafael Devers, Matt Chapman doing veteran power hitting things, and everyone else is just filling in gaps where they need to be. Yeah, the Giants are good. If we don't make the playoffs at this point, I'll be quite surprised. But whoever does make it, fucking owns it, because I think this race for the last wildcard spot is the only really exciting thing that's still happening. Where it's like, you got the American League where it's like, well, who's going to win it? It's like, yeah, but we know who's going to make the playoffs. Whereas on the National League, we're still like, fucking, we don't know. And there's like 2 weeks, and everyone's playing each other, and it's exciting and it's real fun. And I think the Giants will do it.
Yeah, I think the Mets have had a generational choke. Just want to highlight there, when we say Elliot Ramos deserves to be hung, we mean hung out to dry.
Yes.
Just because his fielding errors, I think, have been pretty atrocious.
Yeah,
So
bad fielder.
Yeah, we're highlighting that. We're not trying to we're not trying to get any more nefarious than that. Yeah, I think you've got 4 teams in the hunt for that last wildcard spot. And I think everything else is pretty much sewn up, with the exception of the Dodgers and Padres, but I don't care. So, yeah, that last wild card spot, I think, is up for grabs. I think the Reds will fade away, and I think the Diamondbacks are just a little bit too far out of it. There's too many teams to overtake. I think the Mets have got. I think you're looking over their shoulder. We ran through the Mets and the Giants record a couple of weeks ago, as in like the remaining fixtures, and I just think you've done what you needed to do in that early part where they had to play the Phillies for 4 and it was tough. And I think the pressure's now really on them. So it'll be exciting. We'll talk in a week's time, and the Reds will have won 20 games straight, and they'll be in the 3rd wildcard spot, I'm sure, just because that's what happens every time we talk about stuff.
Just real quick as well, on the Giants side of stuff, is that they cut short Logan Webb, Justin Verlander, and Robbie Ray's off days, so that they were all playing against the Dodgers for the 2 series. So they're pitching on less days, but it's like, this is the first time I've seen the Giants be aggressive about baseball. And it's like, shit, they think they can do it. So it's going to be real fun to see what happens. But like we said, now that we're excited about it and said this is going to happen, the Diamondbacks will be in the World Series again. So
yeah, that might even go all the way. There are 2 leagues in baseball. We've spoken about the National League. We'll do a quick summary of the American League because, for many reasons, we're not as well versed, and they also contain the Yankees. We'll go west to east, though. We'll have a little bit of an exciting one. The American League West has turned into a bit of a fun division, probably the most fun out of all 6 divisions. So at the bottom, well, joint bottom actually, you've got the Angels and the Athletics, both with 69 wins. Nice. I don't really care who finishes bottom out of those 2. The more exciting part is at the top end. The Rangers, despite not being able to hit for most of the early parts of the season, they've got 79 wins. They kind of brought it together. They're 7 games over 500. They're only 2 games back for the lead in the American League West, a lead which is now shared between the Mariners and the Astros. Special shout out to a friend of the show, Harry Ford, for his first RBI, which was a walk-off win the other day for the Mariners. Fantastic to see British baseball flying in MLB, as long as him mashing baseballs. This for me is the most fun division. I think the Astros were kind of running away with it, and then all of a sudden the Mariners have gone on an 8-game win streak. So I, for one, want to put my trident up. Not a euphemism, quite literally. I have a trident. I would love to share it with everyone.
There we go. That's a trident.
Yeah. Cal's holding up 3 fingers for those of you listening on Apple. Do we think the Mariners can go all the way? They've both got 81 wins, them and the Astros, or do we think the Astros will pinch them at the post?
Just for the sake of good friend Josh Eldridge, I hope they do. I think he'll fucking burst if they don't. Just make the playoffs. That's it. That's just get there, and then whatever happens, happens. But beat the Astros, make the playoffs. That's all I want from the Mariners. For the mental health of Josh and Big Oscar as well. I can't imagine what they'd go through. There's only so many times you can check up on your friends before they start to resent you for it. So if the Mariners could save some arguments down the road for me, that would be fantastic.
I think for baseball, the Mariners need to take the AL West.
Yeah.
AL Central, the Tigers have been in cruise control for the last 3 months. They've got the second best record in the American League with 84 wins. The Guardians have brought it back a little bit. They're sitting on 77 wins. They're an outside shoe-in for a wild card. Looking at as we would currently. Well, I'll run through that at the end actually because it's on a different slide. You got the Royals playing close to 500 baseball. Yeah, a bit of a step back for the Royals this year, especially with Bobby Witt. Shout out to Salvi Perez for 1,000 RBIs as an active player. As a catcher as well, that's hard. It's
Let's
not.
go.
Yeah, he's got half a knee at this point. The Twins with the generational sell-off sitting with 65 wins. I think that's kind of what we expected. My sneaky pick for next year, not to compete, but to be closer to 500 is the White Sox. Since the break, they've been actually a half-decent team, led by the youth, highlighted by Colson Montgomery, homer in every other game, it seems. Not really much to talk about in the American League Central. Anything you want to add, Cal?
I'd like the White Sox to be good, but I think they've got a is it Luis Robert Jr., their center
Yeah.
fielder? I think there's quite a lot of talks of trade at the end of last season. I think if they trade him and kind of bring in some decent talent, do a bit more promoting from AAA, yeah, I'd like to see the White Sox do good. I think the Twins have a bit more of a down year, but it's all a part of the sell and rebuild program. And yeah, I don't know. It's just weird to see the Tigers like succeeding.
Yeah, but I'm a bit worried for the Tigers. I think they'll be good this year. I think when it's time to pay Scooble, or if Scooble goes down injured, I don't know what they've got behind him on the pitching side.
Yeah, I don't know where he would go either because he deserves to test out free agency. And if he chooses to stay with the Tigers, fantastic. That's awesome. I'd actually really like it if that happened. But realistically, I don't know. Could you see Scooble for like the Phillies?
I hope not. It's,
Me too, but that was
yeah.
the first team that came to mind of a team that could pay him and probably needs him.
I wouldn't mind seeing him at the Blue Jays.
That oh, dude, don't get me excited.
That would
I'll be
that would be
back in Toronto.
that would be a great move. Segueing over to the Blue Jays, who still have the lead in the American League East. Again, they've kind of flown under the radar. It seems they got the lead, and they've just kind of been cruising and not really had much to think about. They're sitting at the top with 86 wins, best record in the American League, number one seed. 3 games back are the Yankees, who seem to have overcome their middle of the season, I don't want to say slump, but slump, sitting with 83 wins. Another 2.5 games back, the Red Sox with 81 wins. If they match last year, they'll lose the next 13 games and finish 81 and 81. But that's currently where the wild cards are going to sit. The Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Astros. With the Rangers 2 games out and the Guardians, doing the maths, 4 games out. That makes sense. It's a bit of an exciting race to end there. The Rays, who were really good for like a month, and then we spoke about them, and they've been mid since. Currently playing the Cubs. Junior Caminero, absolute shout out, 43 home runs now on the year. Fantastic. Can't wait for him to be traded to the Yankees. And the Orioles sitting at the bottom with 69 and 79. Again, that could have been a lot worse. They've won a few games recently. We won't talk about the Orioles or the Rays too much. I guess it's out of the top 3. Do you see the Blue Jays taking home the East title, Cal?
Yeah. Like they got hot, they've stayed hot. It turns out they're actually just all real good at their jobs. There isn't really a massive weak point in their side. I saw Kevin Gosman through 9 innings, I think 1 hit, 1 run kind of thing, and fucking great. The Blue Jays are just playing really well and have been for a long time. So, I think maybe it's not so much going to be as dominant next year, but I think this year they've got a real chance.
Yeah, it's baseball's such a cyclical sport in that regard, and that's what makes it fun. So just to give you a quick postseason, how we're looking. We've already been through it on the National League side, but the Brewers with the 1 seed, Phillies with the 2 seed. Currently, the Dodgers would host the Mets in the wild card, and the Cubs would host the Padres. On the American League side, you've got the Blue Jays in the 1, Tigers in the 2. They would get the bye. The Mariners and the Astros would do battle at T-Mobile Park with the 3rd and 6th seeds currently. And it'd be the Yankees and the Red Sox in the wild card as well, being played at Yankee Stadium. So those are tasty. There are actually, like, on the American League side, there are some tasty wild card matchups.
And those are the watchable game times, so that's fun.
That would be amazing. We're going to take our halftime there. When we come back, we've got a game, a game that I'm going to get to participate in, which is probably a first for this podcast because I'm normally the one doing the producing, which is fantastic. And we're going to end with Start Bench Cut, which I did produce. So we'll take that 1 for 1, and we'll see you at the half.
Hello and welcome back. It's game time. So usually, as mentioned just before, usually our gracious host usually kind of compiles games for me and my American colleague to partake in, and sometimes if we're feeling generous, we'll ask what he thinks as well at the end of it. But this time, I thought, let's show some love to the big man. So I've got a game for him. And this is a fun game of, was it a home run call or did I pull it out of my ass? So I've got 5 of what Reddit have suggested to be the worst home run calls of all time. And then I've got 5 of my own. And you've got to see if you can guess which was said by somebody paid to do it for their job and for money, or me, a hobbyist but full-time idiot and lunatic. You ready?
It's a great name for a game show, by the way. It really rolls off the tongue.
It does, nice and short.
Yeah, let's go.
Memorable. Before we start, is there any ones that you're thinking of off the bat of just some old-time dog shit home run calls?
I've got 2. One is, I can't remember the commentator's name, but he makes the homophobic or the racist comment, and it's Nick Castellanos mid-apology before he gets axed from his job and exiled from all baseball. He goes, and Nick Castellanos drives it into left field. I'm so sorry for being rich. So that's one. And the other one is the Oakland Athletics commentator, whose name is going to escape me. But
Ash Ketchum?
Sure, Ash Ketchum. And they're playing, I think they're playing the Rays at the time, and she's just saying, Jose Siri, it's not your night, as the ball sails out to centre field and whacks off the advertising board after he just scored a grand slam or something along those lines. So those are the 2 that stick out to me.
Hell yeah. Well, you'll be glad to know these are worse.
Oh, great.
I do not have the names of the original broadcasters who did say them. So unfortunately, I will not be able to give credit. However, if you Google each individual line, I'm sure you'll be able to find them on YouTube and everything. So
why don't I do that as well? I can just type them in once I've answered, once you've confirmed, and we can do the credits live.
Okay, cool. So number 1, you ready?
Yep.
And the Rockies are going to put up the board. Number 1 in the 6th inning on that touch 'em all time for Nolan Arenado.
Could you repeat that? I think the audio went when you.
Yeah, for sure. I'll move the mic closer too. So the line is, and the Rockies are going to put up the board. Number 1 in the 6th inning on that touch 'em all time for Nolan Arenado.
I think that's a legit one.
Yeah, it's a legit one. That's
a bit too precise to be something you've pulled out your ass.
Understandable. Let me just number these real quick because I've written them down in order of real and not real, and I got to try and mix them up. Otherwise, I will get quite confused. Okay,
so put the board up number 1. Was that the?
Yeah, Put up the board number 1 in the 6th inning on that touch 'em all time for Nolan Arenado.
That's horrendous. I don't even want to look that one up.
It's shocking. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I should have done that. We had a break and everything. Okay. Number 2. Tickle me pink. It's a dingle donger.
As much as I'd love for that to be real, I think that's out your ass.
Yeah, no, that's
What was that? Was that pickle me pink or tiggle me pink?
Tickle me pink. It's a dingle donger.
Yeah, I think that's a fake one.
Yeah, you're 2 for 2.
Let's go.
That's me. All right. Number 7. Have fun fishing that one out the swamp.
This one's tough. First one was obvious, it was you. Second one, oh god. I'm gonna say it's out your ass.
Yeah, that
was a tough one.
It was a tough one, but I thought it would be tricky because I can't really think of any teams that play near anything swamp related until we get the North Carolina team, in which case, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4. Sorry, I've written down an order, but I've written them as they're written here, so it's confusing for me.
The fourth one.
The 4th one. Hey Lloyd, so some delivery for the truck to the airport.
I mean, that's got to be real, surely.
yeah, that's real. So someone said that during a home run call.
Hey Lloyd, can you repeat that?
Yeah, it's hey Lloyd, so some delivery for the truck to the airport.
Oh my god, that's worse than your 2 you've made up. The swamp one could conceivably be a good call.
This one, I thought the swamp one was okay. That was a tricky one there. Okay, so you're 4 for 4, and it's not looking great for me. Number 4. Number 4? Number 5. Number 5.
Yep.
Drive home safely.
I think that's real.
Yeah, that's real.
Again, that's a tough one.
Yeah, again, just I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. It depends on it's definitely a walk-off kind of thing, and I think depending on the delivery, it's just you could put some more words into it potentially.
I think so.
I don't know the context.
That one I've put into Google, and it's Angel. It's the Angels TV announcer whenever there's a walk-off. The Los Angeles Angels. That's their trademark.
Every walk-off.
Supposedly, I mean, I've got AI doing it.
In which case, it's bad. If it was like a walk-off in a playoff game, then yeah, it'd be electric. But if it's Tuesday night, shut up.
You've just beaten the Athletics.
All right. Number 6. There is a God. There is a God. There is a God.
Out your ass.
Yeah, that's
again. You've done really well with it. There's like 2 of your ones could conceivably be home run calls, which says a lot for the broadcasting we're listening to.
I'm sure something similar has been said on air before, but that one was all me. All right. Next one. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming.
That's real, and I reckon that's going to be Pirates.
Fuck it. It would make sense for it to be the Pirates. And you're right. It is real.
Okay.
Again, I don't know where it's come from.
It just feels piratey. Again, not a great call.
All right. Your next one. This park is bullshit. That should have been a single.
I mean, that's coming out your ass.
No.
What?
No, that's from a real game.
Hang on.
Well, according to Reddit anyway, I've not validated any of these. But yeah, apparently this park is bullshit. That should have been a single. which I can only imagine was called at Yankee Stadium.
Fine, I'm going to take your word for it. I can't see anything from whatever. Yeah, fine.
Fuck yeah. Well, we can put that one down to that was real from Reddit. Okay, your next one.
Yep.
Take a picture. It'll last longer. You won't be seeing that ball again.
At your ass.
Yeah.
Good one. Again, it's a good one.
It was a good one. I
You
quite like
you could have like a job as a like phrase announcer for home run calls.
I think I'd get so off topic so fast. I'd
Tickle.
like the A's would hire me and I'd be like, well, in the Giants game, it's bottom of the fifth and Rafael Devers has just crawled around the bases in protest this time. And the last one, oh, for the love of God, it's another one.
Fuck. Oh, it's out your ass because I think we've had the 5 real ones, but
Yeah.
God, is that a good one?
I was picturing Judge in like a 14-2 game. It's like the 7th inning. He's hit a 3-run home run. For the love of God, it's another one.
What was your first one? Tickle my pickle.
Not quite. Tickle me pink, it's a dingle donger.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, you would.
It was channeling 1930s baseball commentary.
Babe Ruth at the plate, yeah. Sweet. Well, that is that the end of the. I even forgot the name of the game.
Yeah. It was this real or did I pull it out of my ass game.
Sweet. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I think I only got one wrong.
It's pretty good. The only one you got wrong was the one that we cannot validate if it is actually real.
If anyone's got the validation for that,
let me try to see if I can find it again. But yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. We'll find some more.
Here we
some
go.
more games we can play.
Here we go. Sorry, I'm just gonna. Just seen it. Scherzer's commentary on Harper's called home run in Marlins Park. I think it's the Marlins. I think it is real.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing. Oh, there's a link as well.
Oh, sick.
Can I play it? Is it? Did it not play?
No, it didn't.
Oh no!
Hang on.
Oh no!
How long is it? When about does the? Oh well, we'll.
It's 30. It's 30. It's oh. Do you know what will help?
We'll edit this bit.
Yeah, let me. So, turns out it's not a commentator. It's Max Scherzer.
Oh, sick.
So I'll play the home run
clip. Cannot hear. But Jesus Christ. Oh, is it old Bryce? What the fuck? How was that a home run? Oh, okay. Sick. Hell yeah. I'm sure all of our audio listeners loved that.
Did the volume play?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we're cutting out a lot of this podcast then.
That's fine. Fuck it. Leave it all in and just have everyone sit in awkward silence while we they listen to two dudes Google stuff for 2 minutes.
Well, with all that time that I've just wasted of trying to play a clip, God forbid I try and do something nice. We're going to end with Start Bench Cut. And because Cal, you graciously made the game, I've got both Start Bench Cuts for you.
Right.
So are you ready for this jelly?
More than ready.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly. See what I did there? Lyrical genius. So the baseball one, we're approaching playoff time. You can take this, as I said, however you want to read into it. We're approaching playoff time. Playoff series, they are differing lengths. So you've got a 3-game series in the wild card. You've got a 5-game series in the divisional round. You've got a 7-game series in either the championship round or the World Series. What are you starting? What are you benching? What are you cutting?
Fuck the 7-game series. It's too long. It's unnecessary. I think 5 is the perfect length. I want to start the 5 because, it. I don't know. What 7-game series is what? Best of 5? Shut
First,
up.
yeah, first to 4.
Yeah, shut up. First to 3 is good. If you couldn't do it in 3 or 4, then what are we doing? That's enough. I guess I'm benching 3. I quite like the 3 because it's got the chance of like a home game and away game, and then all right, well, kind of then you go back to the first home game, and it's if this team was good enough to win on the road as well, then that's they deserve it. But I don't know. I think 5 is the perfect format for playoff games. 7's too much. I don't like 7 too much.
That's fair. I mean, with the wild card, the way it works is the team will have the whole series either at home or away, which I'm not a big fan of. It gives you a bit of an advantage, but I think you should play at both venues. I think you should go. You either do. Oh, well, I think you go home, away, home. I don't think you do away, home, home because I think that gives a little bit of an advantage to the team that wins the first game.
Hmm.
I agree with you.
I do think that the World Series should be at a neutral ground.
Yeah,
Like with football and stuff, and well, just about every other sport but American ones. Like the Super Bowl, for
yeah,
example, where you might get lucky, where like the Rams when they won their Super Bowl was at SoFi.
yeah,
Like, cool, you're putting it up to chance, but like then it's not kind of a home and away advantage because you could be playing in Yankee Stadium, and that's unfair. Like
yeah.
it
I mean,
should be somewhere else, and then it can be a little bit more fair for people that want to go to the games because you have a disproportionate amount of games in one place than the other, and then it's harder to get to. Like you can split the stadium 50-50. Like I don't
yeah.
know. I think neutral ground in America. Don't bring the World Series to fucking London. That's a bad idea. Stop the international games during the regular season, please. Um, yeah, do like a 5-game series in fucking Seattle when it's like the Dodgers versus the Yankees again or whatever. Like that'd be fun. I'd like
I,
that.
I was gonna. Would you have the World? All right, I'll pose this question to you. Would you have the World Series all at one stadium, or would you like to see it dotted around?
Oh, like a 5-game series and it's 5 different
Yeah.
neutral grounds? No.
Okay.
No, it would be fun, but I think the logistics of having fans from those teams be in like Seattle and then fucking Colorado and then Boston.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Give me a fight. Give me a 7-game World Series at Coors Field. Every game is 15-14 after 12 innings.
Hell yeah, I'd love it.
All right, perfect. I think I agree with you. I would swap. I would like the 5-game series to be the championship series as well. So you
Mm.
only have the World Series being 7. I agree with you on the neutral format as well. I would start 5-game series. I would bench the 7-game series. I would cut 3-game series. I just think it's a bit. You get to the wild card round. Specifically with the wild card, you fight like the Giants. You fight tooth and nail. You beat 4 teams on your way to the wild card, and then your reward is, oh, you get to go play the Dodgers for 3 games. It's a
Yeah,
bit,
in Dodger Stadium, it's
yeah, it's a bit shit in it.
yeah.
Um,
There's tweaking that can happen.
yeah, we can talk about that when playoffs come around. It'd be great. We could have like fantasy playoffs, like you get a 5-game series with any 5 stadiums in the world. You're playing in the Tokyo Dome for 1 game.
Hell yeah.
That's the baseball related start bench cut. We're finished with the non-baseball related start bench cut. It's football season, American football season. I mean, it's already been Premier League. I've got 3 franchises that I want you to think of this from a fan perspective. So who you would start, bench, and cut. I've not given you the nicest teams in the world. I do apologize. I think I've given you 3 fan bases that would rather not be a fan of those teams. So I've got Cleveland Browns as an option. I've got the Carolina Panthers as an option. And I'm going to give you the New York Giants as a third option just because I think that's a bigger shit show than the Jets. But if you want to swap out the Jets for the Giants, feel free.
So what am I doing here? Am I ranking which one I'd rather be a fan of?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, then yeah, those teams do suck. So I've got the Browns, the Giants, and who was the second one?
The
Sorry,
Panthers. The Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Carolina's a bit too hot, and they play outside, and so I'd rather I burn like toast. I don't want to join them. I want to, if I'm thinking about games I want to go in Fuckhead Park or wherever they play their games. I don't know, Panthers Stadium. I don't want any of that. I respect the people that do. It's just not for me. So that's getting cut. I like MetLife. I think it's a cool stadium, and I've got some pals that are Giants fans, and by the namesake, it's cool. I can cheer for the Giants, but I think the Browns fans have been going through so much for forever, and they're still showing up every week, and it looks fun, and they play in the snow sometimes, and that's great. Like, think of the phrase, "We play in the snow this week." That's magical. There's whimsy to it. I like it, which they do in New York, but like, I feel like you could afford to go to a few Browns games a year, whereas you go to one if you're lucky as a Giants fan. Yeah, I'm starting the Browns. I've got nothing bad to say about them. And the Giants are just kind of big evil sports empire vibes. I don't know. I like them. I prefer the Jets. So
That's fair. So I've gone completely opposite to you. I would start the Panthers.
really,
I like Cam Newton. I thought he was a great player when he played.
thank you.
As a pundit, it's kind of, you don't know what he's going to come out with. It's like Jameis Winston playing football.
Hell yeah.
But I like him, and I think in the winter, I do burn as well. But I just think in the summer, in the winter, there's going to be like a mild 20 degrees. I don't like wrapping up warm when I go and watch sports. So if I can be there in a t-shirt, I'm rocking it. I'm gonna bench the Browns. I think more of a mercy than anything. I don't think they need to lose anything more. As an organization, I'm not big on them. I don't like the ownership. If I was a fan, I'd be like, why are we just signed Deshaun Watson to a 200-year, $500 million contract when all the allegations, etc., which I won't go into. It's just
allegation. He was in prison. He did that.
Yeah.
He did all of those things.
Yeah.
And there's no time for it. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, but you're spending so much money on a quarterback, even when he plays, he's shite. Like,
yeah, no.
I don't necessarily blame him for being shy at this point in his life, let alone career. But I just think the Browns fans deserve so much more. I'm glad Garrett stayed with them, Miles.
Yeah, well, after threatening to leave and then he was like, "I want to play for a championship," and they're like, "Why don't you play for like $300 million?" And he was like, "You know what? Maybe I don't need to win the Super Bowl
Ever. Maybe I don't need to have a winning record ever again." And then I'm going to cut the Giants. I just don't like New York sports. I've learned that in my old age. Baseball, Yankees, Mets. Nope. Football. I don't mind the Jets. Same as you. I think they're fun.
It's the most pleasing green you've ever seen in your life. It's a phenomenal color choice by the Jets.
Yeah, it's not really mid green. I don't know what you'd call it.
Anyway, it's officially Gotham green.
Oh, so they like Batman. Sweet. I don't mind the Jets now. Maybe New York isn't all bad.
It's not all bad. The Rangers as a hockey team, fine.
Yeah.
The New York Knicks, I like the Knicks.
Yeah, you
They
got the
got
Brooklyn Nets. Maybe I'm
they
just
got
thinking of.
Cat. They got Carl Anthony Towns. They got a zesty boy, and I love that. He's great. He's so much fun. I love Carl Anthony Towns. What a guy. Fuck it. New York sports is actually good. It's just the Yankees.
And the Mets. Okay.
The grandchildren of the Giants. There's time for them.
It's a good thing Dan wasn't here because the Mets have not had a good showing. Okay. Well, if we ever branch out into basketball, which probably won't happen because I think it's definitely if I was to rank the American sports, it's definitely the bottom of the list for me. Like it's baseball, football, close second, and then I'm slightly more hockey than I am basketball.
Yeah, I like basketball and hockey in equal measures, but basketball is easier to watch than hockey.
Yeah, it's bigger than a puck flying about, isn't it? Basketball. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked, so we should probably take this convo offline. As we do because we're best friends. That's been it for a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast. Our first ever game, which went swimmingly, 90%. I don't know how Dan's going to top that, but I'll make sure to catch him out when we do our next games. I've been Gary or Gaz or Kaz. Cal's been Gal or Cal or Callum or Dan. Maybe not Dan. Dan. I assume Dan's been Dan.
I've definitely not been Dan, to be fair.
Yeah, I've also not been Dan. You've been lovely as always, audience. We will catch you on the next recording. Thank you and goodbye.